Hello everyone, it's Mark. I am the Sanderson collector, and this week I am here to show you the new small size hardcover of the Rithmatist and the new paperbacks of Mistborn, all of which came out late last year. Now, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I last put out a video, and I have a very good reason for that. I have been busy beta reading Rhythm of War, the 4th Stormlight Archive book. It is scheduled to come out November 17th of this year, and Brandon has his 3rd draft about finished, and we've been going through it. We have finished 2 parts so far, and are currently waiting for the 3rd part. So I have a little bit of free time today, so I decided I'd go ahead and record a video. So here we are. Before I show you the books, there's one more thing to talk about, and that is Brandon's live streams. Brandon has been live streaming while signing the signature pages for various leather-bound editions because, as we saw with Warbreaker, they are now taking the pages, having them signed, sending them off to the printer, and then having them bound into the book so that Dragonsteel does not need to open the book when it arrives, and they can just ship them on to the people who buy the books. And while he is signing these, because it is basically a big stack of sign, put a piece of paper aside, sign, put a piece of paper aside, sign, put a piece of paper aside, he likes to talk to his fans and answer questions. So they have been setting up live streams that last 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. And he takes questions from the chat and answers them while he's signing the pages. And it's been a ton of fun to watch those. So if you have free time and you see a link for one of those go up, I highly recommend going and watching them. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the new books. And the first up is the pocket-size hardcover edition of The Rithmatist, which was released sometime in November last year, right around the time that Starsight came out. Probably they timed it so that there would be a new availability of this one along with his other YA books. And it is small, pocket-sized, about the same size as a mass market paperback even. And it's a hardcover, but there is no dust jacket. The cover is printed directly on the boards, and we have this cool new cover for The Rithmatist showing a couple of hands drawing a chalk circle with some defensive anchors and the little Armedius Academy there in the background. I think it's a really cool cover. It's got all the same text that we originally had with the illustrations by Ben McSweeney and so on. So it's a really cool little edition, and it matches the edition of From the Two Rivers, the first part of Eye of the World that Tor put out last year. They put out a bunch of these for other authors as well. So it was really cool to see the Rithmatist getting this treatment and to have another edition of that book. Fingers crossed that Brandon finds time soon to actually write the sequel to it. And the other books I want to talk about are the reissues of the Mistborn trilogy in mass market paperback. I talked about the covers of these in a previous video, and I may have even shown off Mistborn, but the full trilogy is now out. We have Mistborn, Well of Ascension, and Hero of Ages. And so we have the full trilogy with this new set of covers. The covers are meant to be more evocative of epic fantasy and a little bit of the books than actually representational of things that go on in the books. And I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they're really cool looking still, and Brandon likes them. And the really nice thing is that Tor put these out all together like 1 or 2 months apart, and so they made sure that the spines actually line up this time. And so as a set on the shelf, they look really nice because they all go together, and I am glad to have at least one set that does this. The other really nice thing is that they have the 10th anniversary text in them, which was updated when they put out the leather bounds for the 10th anniversary. They went through and did minor continuity edits and lots of typo cleanups, language fixes as Brandon's prose has advanced over the years, and Peter has done more editing for him, so it's nice to have an accessible and easily readable format of the latest, most official text of these books. We have gotten a reissue of Elantris in hardcover and trade paperback with the 10th anniversary text that came from the leatherbound edition, but we have not gotten one in mass market paperback yet, so hopefully we will get that soon. And if you want to collect this set, something to know is that later this year, in a month or two, we will have a box set similar to the box set that we have for the original covers for the paperback trilogy for these new covers. And the other thing to know for collectors is that all of these have started over as essentially a new edition with a new printing line. So all these paperbacks that I have here are the first printing of the new set, and they have new ISBNs, which I will post down below as usual. And I believe that is everything for today. So I hope y'all enjoy the new editions if you decide to go out and collect them. Now, Ark isn't in here with me today to go ahead and say goodbye. That's because my room has gotten to be even more of a mess as I have accumulated more books and swag and have not had time to shelf them because of the beta read going on. Hopefully in a couple of weeks when I am finished up with that, I will get everything on the shelves and I can let them back in. So until then, it's just me saying goodbye and happy collecting.